For all of you who don't know, I'm Ella Majors with Sexy Fit Vegan and the Plant Empowered Coaching Program. And we have Tammy with us today as my
Hi.
Tammy has a website. She focuses on relationships. What's your website, Tammy?
Married and Naked.
marriedandnaked.com.
Yes.
So if you're, yes, and we've had her on for relationship topics before, you guys. So I'm going to actually put, you know what, I'm going to put in the notes the link to a page where I pretty much put all the trainings on this one page. All most of the Facebook lives are on there, so our live is on there, and it's just this huge collection. It's a little overwhelming, so which is why I don't put it out there a lot, but I'm going to put it in the show notes so they can see other ones that you were on as well.
Okay.
And for Tammy graduated from our Plant Empowered Coaching Program and has moved on to our Game Changers, our next level program, which is really exciting, is it not?
Yes, it is. So exciting.
It's like next level stuff here. It's pretty amazing. But today we are talking about, what did I name it? The 3 keys for creating a sustainable fitness program that works. And I asked Tammy to be on because she is really in a phase right now. You're hitting it hard, Tammy, at the gym and running. And tell us what your goals are right now, like what you're working towards and what's motivating you.
Well, my goal right now is mainly I'm working towards my very first half marathon. I've done a few 5Ks and I did one 10K, that was several years ago. And this year I just decided it was time. I'm going to be 45 this year, and this is the time. If it's in my heart at all, I want to accomplish it. So this is my year for that. So that's what I'm really focusing on right now.
Awesome, awesome. And today we're really focusing on creating sustainable routine, because most of the people that we work with really have been up and down, like yo-yoing, because what happens so often, as most of you guys, I'm sure, know, we go through phases, right? Where we are, okay, let me try this workout routine, this program, and you hit it super hard and you go, 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 and it's not sustainable. So yes, it gets you results, but then as soon as you back off, because it's not something that you can keep up with, or you don't want to, it's not fun, it's not enjoyable, for whatever reason, you lose the motivation to keep doing it, then we go back to where we were before. And that's so frustrating. And it's so frustrating for so many people to work so hard, and then have the results kind of dissipate very quickly. Mm-hmm. So we want to really get into how you can create a routine today that is going to get you the results that you're looking for, but allow you to continue on and really have this mindset of, okay, you know, when this one runs out, I'm empowered, I've got the knowledge, I've got the ability to adjust it, to make it work for me. So you can always just feel really confident about continuing on with your workouts and having a great time with it, and having it be something that you can stick with. Hi, Tia and Jody. We've got Tia and Jody. Hello. So great to have you guys. All right, so we got 3, and we're going to go through the 3. The first one, the first key is to train because you love your body, not because you hate it. And this is a huge one for everyone in the Plant Empowered Coaching Program, because the program's all about learning to accept, love, and respect yourself and your body just as it is, in order to, what we call a prerequisite for changing it and changing it permanently. Tammy, what was your journey into, can you tell us a little bit about that process of learning to love yourself as you are, and why that was such a life changer for you?
Well, it's been such a long ongoing process, but really for me, the biggest changes come as a result of this program that I've been in with you guys. And it was, I went into the program really wanting to lose weight because I was very unhappy with what I saw in the mirror. I didn't like myself. I had this constant chatter in my head that I couldn't get rid of, that was negative talk towards myself. And for a long time, I've really focused on exercise and eating, but there was nothing that was quite sustainable for me. And that was a side thing, but I thought, I'm going to come into this, I'm going to lose weight, I'm going to follow Ella's lead on this, and I'm just going to lose a whole bunch of weight and really quick. And then what I discovered was that it wasn't so much about losing the weight as it was about figuring out how to stop this chatter that I had in my head that was constantly sabotaging my days and everything I did. Every accomplishment I ever made, I was really good at just shutting it down. Mm-hmm. And a few months into this program, I was given an exercise to do that literally changed my whole life. And I'm not exaggerating about that. And from then on, it's been a whole other ballgame where it's been about focusing on appreciation and love for my body and coming at everything from that perspective, rather than from a place of dislike and really hate for what I saw in the mirror.
Yes. Myrna's on, and Alyssa too. So Myrna and Alyssa are program members as well.
Hi guys.
Hi. And are you able to share what this life-changing, I'm sure everyone's like, what was the life-changing exercise?
Yes, it was on one of my private coaching calls. And Stephanie challenged me. She said, basically what I needed to do was have my slate just like wipe clean. I needed to start with a fresh slate. And what she wanted me to do was literally burn all of these thoughts that I was having constantly in my head. So she wanted me to write them all down and then literally take a match to them and burn them. And I thought, okay, this is silly. This isn't going to do anything for me. And it took me a few days to work up the courage to do it. And I went out in my backyard and I wrote down every single, just so many thoughts that I have been saying to myself over and over, thoughts from way back from middle school, things that people have said that hurt me, you name it. And I wrote them all down, and one by one I went through and I said it out loud, and then I burned it, and then I replaced it with a new thought. And I just literally, from that moment, I felt like a different person. It just literally changed everything for me. I don't carry those thoughts with me anymore.
That's amazing.
It really is.
Amazing. Stephanie, for those of you who don't know, she's our head coach in the program, mindset coach. She does our members' individual coaching calls as well. And she is just queen. She is just, and there she is. Look.
Nice. He was just talking about you.
We're just talking about you, Stephanie. Yeah, she's like queen of creating strategies and things like that. And one thing you say, Stephanie, a lot, I hear it a lot, is you're not going to like this.
Yes.
It's a precursor to what you're about to say, or you're going to think this is silly and stupid, but, and then comes but it works.
It did. It absolutely did work. And so when she says that to me anymore, I don't, okay, Stephanie, whatever you want me to do.
Yes, I love that. Okay, cool. I also had made a note about kind of distinguishing between working out and training. And, it's a distinction that, not everybody needs to make, but in my head, and I know for a lot of people, working out has this kind of stigma of being a chore. I have to go work out. We say it a lot. Oh, I have to get to the gym. It's got this kind of negative connotation a lot of the times. Where training, and for me, it says, oh, we've got goals. We've got skills. We want to get stronger. Here's what we want to do. It's more focused on the positive and your performance, and using that as a goal. So we're not focused on how many calories am I burning? How much weight am I losing? Because that always will end up in self-sabotage. That does not work. So we need to find, weight loss is a side effect. That's how we need to look at it. That's how you guys, if you haven't looked at it that way, let's get to a place where we're seeing training and going to the gym or doing your classes or yoga or whatever it is you're doing as a way to strengthen your body, to build new skills, to do a race. You're doing a half marathon in just a month and a half or so. Yeah, so I just want to make that distinction. I really think for a lot of people, that little shift can make a big difference as well, just as a thought. All right, and tell us what you're training for exactly.
I'm training for a half marathon. It's on June 1st. It's the first time I've ever taken on anything to this extent. So it's quite an ordeal as far as training for me. And I can really relate to what you're just saying about working out versus training, because I used to be, you know, I was good about strength training, but I was doing it because I wanted to burn off calories from the weekend before, or because I had put on some weight that I was trying to get off. And despite I was semi-dedicated to it, I didn't lose weight. I didn't like what I saw in the mirror at all. And then in January, I set this goal for myself. And since then, I have been strength training 3 times a week. I have been running 3 times a week. I haven't missed one single run. And I've been eating, really learning to eat nutritiously to fuel my exercise. And it's changed everything. So it's not about burning calories or looking good in the mirror. It's about crossing this finish line. And that's all I can think about and focus on. So it's really taught me the value of attaching a goal to my workouts and knowing that once I'm done with this training, I need to choose another goal to keep it going for, you know, it changes my whole perspective on exercise. Yeah,
I think it takes it away from a place where you're basically using workouts or to punish yourself, you know. I gotta go because I need to punish myself for eating that vegan pizza yesterday, or you know, oh, I messed up, and so it's this constant cycle. And I always say you can't outrun your fork. I mean, that doesn't work. I mean, it takes what I use this example sometimes. I don't know if anybody's heard it before, but how many burpees? You guys know what a burpee is, right? They are tough. They're tough. That's one of the toughest body weight exercises that I think that exists. So one burpee, or how many burpees does it take to burn off the calories, the junky calories in 3 Oreo cookies? Anybody know? We've got a 30-second delay, so I'm not going to wait. You know,
I don't know at all.
So it's 100, about 100. You know, give or take, depending on your weight.
That's crazy.
It's crazy. It's crazy. Not outrun our forks, and we need to just shift that perspective. We're not going to burn off all the calories. It's just forget all of that. Let's eat clean. Let's eat to fuel our bodies. Let's eat to feel good, and let's work out in the same kind of attitude, with the same attitude. Yes. All right. I love it. Number 2, identifying the why behind your workouts for ongoing motivation. And it needs to go beyond outward appearance. So I think I jumped the gun a little bit on the last one, but really figuring out, why am I going to the gym? If it's to burn calories, let's take a step back, because that's not going to work for long. So like I said, think of weight loss as a side effect. I go to spin class, for example, because it's fun and because it boosts my mood. And I'll choose some days, you know, I'll say, okay, I can either do a yoga class, a kickboxing class, or a spin class. And it's not necessarily based on, okay, which is going to burn the most calories. It's not based on that. It's like, what do I need today to feel my best? And a lot of times, sometimes I need this to feel like I'm going clubbing in the middle of the day with this spin class in the dark and the lights and the energy, and that it's fun. You know, I don't go to the club anymore. I live in Miami. They're all around me. But there I feel like I'm dancing again. I'm like back in my 20s. So, you know, that's a mood booster. Goal setting, like Tammy's doing. Skill building. For me, I got kind of bored of strength training. I've been doing it my whole life. And I went to calisthenics, which is still strength training because you're using your body weight, but for me, it was more skill-based. Let me learn some skills. Let me do a handstand push-up. I can't do one. And, you know, that was a year ago, and now I can do almost 10. I'm almost at 10. That's my goal. But, you know, it gives you something. A lot of people can't do one solid push-up. A lot of people. That's very, very common. So getting to that point where you're like, okay, I'm going to work on a push-up and I'm going to be able to do the best push-up ever. And then you can take it on from there. You know, now I put a 25-pound plate on my back to do my push-ups because I want to keep growing. I want to keep getting stronger and learning new things. Pull-ups, that was something that's always been tough for me. So I'm working on my pull-ups, and, you know, all sorts of things that are just skill building. Is one thing that motivates me right now, and that changes. All that changes over the years. Do you have any thoughts about what direction you're going to take, Tammy, after your half marathon? Are you going to keep running? Are you going to switch it up?
With regards to after, I think I would like to keep running because I have a feeling this won't be the last one. I thought, you know, as I'm starting it, like, I'll do one and that's it. Like, that's going to be great. But I kind of think I might want to do more. So I want to keep up at a basic level of running. And I love the idea of challenging myself to be able to do a push-up. I can't do a push-up, you know, or a full one anyways, or a pull-up. I love that. But I did want to speak to, you were saying about your why and how that really identifying that changes things. About 6 years ago, I started working with a trainer, and I went to her because I didn't like myself at all. I was just fed up. And over the next, I don't know, 6 months or so, I lost a lot of weight. I was feeling really strong. And then gradually things started very slowly coming back on. And I would go every week to the gym, and I would feel bad when I looked in the mirror and frustrated. And then my mom got sick, and she had a 5 times bypass surgery. Wow. And then not too long, shortly the same year, my dad passed away from congestive heart failure. And that taught me that, oh my gosh, there's some things going on inside of our bodies that we don't see. And it totally opened my eyes to exercise. For me before was strictly about losing weight, and eating right was just about watching my calories so I could fit in jeans. And after that, it became all about health. It's about, I want to be here for my kids as long as I possibly can be here. And it totally shifted my perspective on working out. And I started, you know, eating, you know, more of a vegan diet. I started, you know, changing all about how I ate. You know, it really changed everything. So I discovered my why, and it shifted to where workouts weren't such a chore anymore. They were for a different purpose than trying to fit into my jeans, because I just want to be here for as long as I possibly can. Yeah.
I'm so glad you brought up that point, Tammy, because I think we get really wrapped up in the aesthetics and forget just how important it is for our long-term health, and to be able to, you know, work out. I have a day where I do exercises that are just for like stability and balance. Yes. And things that, you know, we talk about the activities of daily living, that just the movements that we need to get through our day every day, to get out of bed, to, you know, take a shower, to shoes. You know, these are things, as you start to get older, you start to feel it a little, and you, without doing some of these workouts, then you're going to start to diminish your ability to do just everyday activities as we get older. And who wants that? I mean, obviously we need, you know, we need to do core, we need to do lower back, and that's why people start to hunch over. As your back muscles are weak, we need to do strength training to prevent osteoporosis. You know, there's so many health benefits to working out, and really it doesn't have to, if you're not somebody who's really motivated to get really super strong and muscular, you don't need that. You don't need that for just overall health. We need to get out there. We need to get your heart pumping. We need to get moving every day. We need to do some strength training, but it doesn't have to be this crazy routine to get those health benefits. So that's really cool as well. Thank you for bringing that up. All right, last one, to use it, and this is something that took me a long time to get to the point where I do this, to use training as an opportunity to build community and to have social interaction. You know, a lot of times we wait and have social interaction by going to happy hour or going out and having some drinks and doing it, you know, maybe unhealthy things. why not make working out and training something that we can do with friends, or to build friends and to have a community. That's why I'm a big proponent of classes or training buddies, partners. You're working out with your sister, you know, that's an opportunity for you guys to spend time together. I still teach one class just for fun at my home gym, SobiKick, and I still teach it, not because I need to, but because I've had the same people coming to my class for 10 years, some of them, and it's like family. I went through a period in my 20s where I was so serious about training that I was like, oh, people who talk in the gym, that's so annoying. Yeah, I went through that whole hardcore kind of fitness person mentality. I'm like, oh, they're just using it as a social you know, place, and it used to annoy the crap out of me. And now at this point in my life, I'm like, oh, I can't wait to get to the gym, and it's a motivator. I got to go see my friends. I got to see my people. I'm making friends with the teacher. I'm making friends with the person who does yoga next to me, or spin, or kickboxing, and I go, and it's like that extra motivator. I don't want to miss it because of the social aspect some days. So to have that extra motivation, for me, it just turns off the question of, oh, I don't feel like it, you know, when you get to those days, but you know the outcome that you'll feel so much better after. It kind of turns that choice off, for me at least. And this is all about, everything we do in the Plant Power Coaching Program is figuring out what works for you. So take everything that we say with a grain of salt and use it as an opportunity to make some shifts in your perspective, try some different things, think about things in a different way. What are your thoughts, Tammy, on the social community aspect of working out?
Well, for me, I told you I started with a trainer 6 years ago or so. Recently, I've just stopped that. But what it taught me was, it was a small little studio, and I got very connected to the trainers there. And it was this tight little like family that you really enjoyed seeing and chit-chatting with as you're, you know, busting your booty. Yes. But, and as I was doing that, my sister started coming to classes with me. She would come train with me. I told you my mom had 5 times bypass surgery. After she recovered from that, we encouraged her to start exercising. So she started training. So the 3 of us would go together, and we would train together. And then my sister and I started taking spin classes together. And for me, it's always been hard to get to a workout on my own. It just, it's not really my thing. But it's a whole other ballgame when I know somebody is out there waiting for me. Like, you know, the idea of texting and saying, I'm not going to make it. Like, I can't do that. I got to show up whether or not I want to. And so, you know, we recently stopped with the trainer, but we've continued on at the gym, and we've even kicked it up a notch. And my mom still comes and she works out with us on Friday afternoons. And it really gives my sister and I a chance just to catch up. We chat, we have such a good time. And on top of that, it pushes me. I challenge myself so much to be at another level, because we push each other. Yes. And that's been really good. And so it's the pushing, it's the community, and it's the accountability that I really think working with a buddy or with a group or a class is such a great way to go.
Yes, absolutely. Do you guys, I'm curious if you guys have that sense of community in terms of training as well. Yes, I got my mom to move down finally after 10 years. I worked on my mother for 10 years to get her to move to Miami, and she finally did a couple years ago. And we joined the same yoga studio, and I literally 4 days a week, we do yoga together.
That's awesome.
And it's such a, you know, it's a bonding experience. She can do it. She's 71. Yes, she's turning 72 this year, and she can do a headstand now, a complete headstand. Complete headstand.
Amazing.
Yes. And crow, she's pretty much got the crow. Like, she's getting skills at 71 years old. It makes me so happy. So yeah, using that to encourage your friends and family to join you, and then it just becomes the thing to do. Yeah. So yes, awesome. All right. So I hope this gave you guys some good information, some ideas, some shifts in perspective. You know, in the Plant Power Coaching Program, we absolutely guide you on plant-based nutrition and meal planning and exercise and all of that, but it's not the focus, because that part becomes the easy part once you realize that you have a lot of emotional and mental work to do. A lot of mindset shifts, emotional, usually we don't have the tools to deal with negative emotion in our life. So we stuff it down, we hide it, we over-exercise, we under-exercise, we overeat, we undereat, we self-sabotage. And it's usually because we don't have the tools to deal with our negative emotions. And half our life, we're gonna be experiencing negative emotions. Negative emotions, we need them to have positive emotions. We need sadness to have joy. It's all part of the human experience and it's all important. But if we don't have the tools to deal with half of our emotions, then it causes problems. So we really buckle down and work on that our emotional health. We teach you a really powerful system for getting in control of your thoughts, of your feelings, which will then dictate your actions and ultimately your outcomes or results. Valerie said, thank you guys. I'm almost always work out alone, inspired to find a class for the social aspect once a week. Awesome. Yeah, Jamie, hey, Christian. I'm at Christian's house. It's my boyfriend. And what was I going to say? Social aspect, one day a week, find a class. Yes. I forgot what I was going to say. Anyway, if this stuff resonates with you guys, I am doing free coaching calls right now, and we call them breakthrough calls. I'm doing them myself right now. I'm on the phones talking to you guys one-on-one, really diving deep into where you're at, what your struggles are. We talk about your relationship with food, your body, yourself, your emotions. We really dive in deep and work on getting to the root of those problems, so that then I can help you put a game plan together. And if that turns out to be a good fit for working with us and doing this program, then I will let you know on the call and we can talk about that. If it's not the right fit, I'm going to let you know that too and do my best to point you in a different direction that might be more helpful. We handpick every single client that we work with. I handpick every client. Alyssa said, oh yes, Alyssa met Christian 2 weekends ago, I believe it was, when we were in San Fran. Yeah. Yes, and I lose my train of thought, but anyway, you guys, I'm doing these calls, so now's the time to sign up. We do have a couple spots available. When one person graduates, we open up a spot. We keep it very private, very intimate, and just so powerful. Myrna said, this is the only program that helps you with your emotions, which makes it so much easier to work on your diet once you deal with the emotional baggage. Love this program and take advantage of Ella's offer. So worth it. Oh, yes. Oh, I love Myrna. I love you, Myrna. I love everybody there. It's like a family. We have such a family. We
Definitely.
Awesome. All right, I will put the link to schedule that call once we get off here. It's just sexyfitvegan.com/apply. And if you have any questions, you can always reach out to me. I do my best to make myself as accessible as possible. Tammy's around. Valerie's always open to talking to people about anything that she can help with. Jamie as well. And so we've got lots of people helping out. It's fantastic. All right, we are wrapping up. Tammy, thank you so much as usual for being on. It was awesome. And I will see you back in the group, and I'll see you guys soon. Bye.
Bye, guys.